talking of our flag. He walked the halls of Congress. He opened every door. He talked to all the people he never saw before. He told them he was coming. He'd be marching through the land. He was carrying our symbol. He was talking of our flag. He asked those who guide our nation with an aching in his heart, though you hear the call for freedom, there are things that you must stop. He wants to save the nation. He would walk or he would fall. For he had to move the spirit, so he had to tell it all. He walks and thinks of battles and of gallant men who fall. He is one among the millions, and he's crying for us all. He is one among the millions, and he's crying for us all.
Mountains to the valleys down below, through the battles we remember, into wars we had to go. I am proud to serve my country in whatever I may do, so I want to tell my story of my flag, red, white, and blue. Yes, I want to tell my story of my flag, red, white, and blue.
People have always revered the flag. It's covered the caskets of millions of people in this country, war veterans and those killed in the line of duty. And when the Supreme Court said that somehow that flag was not entitled to special protection, the people rose up.
My father's in the military, Grandpa's long been gone. He's laying in the cemetery, he gave his life in war. Mama tells a story on a very special day, how her daddy raised an American flag on a mountain far away. Daddy raised an American flag on a mountain far away.
We want the flag to be honored. We want the flag to be respected.
Well, the thing that has held this country together all the years has been three words: pride, patriotism, and volunteerism, and respect for the American flag. And as long as we have respect for that American flag, we will always have the greatest, freest nation on earth.
At night I look up at the stars, at dawn they fade away, but the stars I want you all to see shine throughout each day. They're the stars that made our nation great, 50 stars in all. The United States of America, our flag's been through it all. The United States of America, my flag, red, white, and blue.
Ron James, a U.S. Marine veteran, is walking to protect the American flag. James wants to see New York State pass a law to protect Old Glory from being burned or otherwise desecrated. Now, James started his journey on Memorial Day. He will walk 14 miles every day carrying a flag until his travels are complete.
It kind of hurts when you see people desecrating the American flag. This didn't happen 30 years ago in the 1950s, but now it happens. I want it stopped.
The desecration of the American flag, to me, is one of the indications that something is really vitally, dangerously wrong with America today.
I had decided, after writing over 1,100 letters with 28,000 pieces of information, that if there's nothing else that I could do to make people respond to my writing and calling and talking to an effort, making that effort, I felt I would walk to Washington, D.C. But I first walked to New York, from New York to Albany. And then we organized a walk from New York City to Washington, D.C., over 400 miles to honor the American flag. I had the time to do it. I know that some people do not have the time to do this. I care enough to do this. And I know that it has to be done so that somebody acknowledges that kind of effort. And the four men that did walk from New York City to Washington were acknowledged for that effort, and they are written into the congressional record in Congress of the United States on Flag Day, June 14, 1994. That can never, ever be taken away.
It is the blood that was shed for it. It's the purity of intent and emotion that people feel for it. It's the blue of the sky of the hope of infinity in the future of our nation. Because the flag carries not just what we see today in the present. It carries a history of the past and a history of the future yet to be. The symbol that we have to give to our children and descendants.
One of the finer moments of the walk is when we went through Staten Island and I was about to be honored by the borough president. We had the honor of having a collegiate naval cadet who performed very well with the march. We had people involved with the military, members of the American Legion, the Marine Corps League, the disabled vets, and various citizens and organizations who participated in the walk. We had famous people involved with radio. It was an experience that was kind of united everybody together. You felt that it was a fantastic purpose that you were fighting for, because this is the kind of support that we want to see all the time when it comes to defend the American flag.
Probably the paramount emotion of the time of that walk was, in fact, approaching the Capitol itself. This was the culminating thrill of the trip, to actually see the Capitol, to see the flags, to see the essence of our country, of our nation, and to be there, and to know in our heart of hearts that we attempted, at least tried to do something for the nation, for the people, for the future, to take that heritage from our people, our families, other families, and pass it as a legacy to the future.
Well, Ron James and his crew just personify what America's all about. You know, they are the very, very uncommon, common men of America that have made this country great, and that's why I have such great respect for he and the others that walk this flag here 267 miles today on this Flag Day.
Mr. James and his three compatriots are showing their patriotism and the real value of the flag as a national symbol.
Ron James, I think, is an inspiration, and he came to Albany, and I will tell you that the political wags there said there was no way that the flag protection resolution would pass the New York State Assembly. Ron James made it real, began the tremendous pressure that succeeded in the thing that people said couldn't happen. So I never would underestimate Ron. He's an inspirational speaker. He's an inspirational person. He's bringing this movement to each and every community from New York to Washington, and I think he's going to succeed.
To protect the symbol of our nation gives us unity and strength. If there's one thing that you must give the American people, whether you're rich or poor, it should be the American flag. There should be something that's inviolate, that you cannot not touch, something so sacred that kind of binds us together. And it has to be done now, because the people who remember the pledging of allegiance in the school, which was taken out of a lot of schools, or remember singing our Star-Spangled Banner, or were born in this country, have this feeling within them to protect our flag. If we may wait much longer, there are so many new people coming to our country, and so many people growing up and born now in our country that have no feeling or need or do not know about the wars and what they represent. They're so far in the past, it's very hard to tell a person of 12 years old, do you remember what happened in the Civil War or in World War II or even in Vietnam? To them, the flag, oh, it's the flag. I don't have to say a Pledge of Allegiance. I can talk any language I want. I can go any place I want and do everything I want, and I care less. I don't want that. I would like to unite the United States at least with the symbol of our nation, the American flag.